You guys, the drama is intensifying on In the Dark. Murphy gets a pregnancy scare. She goes through extreme lengths to find out if Tyson is really dead and gets caught in a scary situation. We have that and more starting right now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, After Buzzers? Thank you for joining us for another after show of In the Dark. We are talking about episode 5, The Feels, and you guys, this episode was crazy. But first, we have a special guest with us. Thank you so much for coming, Brooke Marham.
Yeah, hi.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
And I'm
so excited.
also joined by my lovely panel.
Hey guys, I'm Missy Bernier.
Hey, Bethany Jean.
This episode was crazy. It gave you so many emotions. What did you guys think about it?
I love this episode. You know, it was a crazy ride towards the end, as we just watched. But overall, I just definitely feel like everything's coming together, like the storyline and, you know, Murphy and, like, kind of just everything. I'm just so excited to see what happens next.
I just felt so emotionally invested. I felt, like, legitimately upset at the end. I'm like, those are my friends now. Poor Felix and his mom. I'm stressed about it. Stressed about Felix and his mom. That's what's going on.
How do I feel?
Yeah. What did you think about this episode? She knows everything that's going to happen, but how did you feel like after taping that episode when you found out that big cliffhanger?
Yeah. I felt a lot.
But wait, did you know that Tyson was going to be dead before they gave you the script for this episode? Did you know?
No, I didn't know. I was always under the... I was always thinking he was in hiding or something.
Same.
Yeah, we never knew. We always found out when each script would come out. I love this episode, though. And I feel like we're just getting started, guys.
Right?
Yeah, I feel that same way too.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
It's crazy. I mean, yeah, I know everything. And from where we're at and from where we go... Man, I feel like we're in like 8th grade, and by the end of the season, we're gonna like graduate college. We're
growing up.
We're growing up.
Right,
we're
right.
Just, that's like how I feel right now. I'm like, oh God, we're just getting started. Is how I feel. So after watching it,
It was so intense, and I want to first start talking about the big pregnancy scare that Murphy had, and so we start off with Murphy. She's in a bar with DaIn, and I don't know. I'm starting to grow on them. I really like them.
You're still like.
I still like Max,
DaIn and her might.
but I'm starting to really like Murphy and DaIn. Like, what do you think about? Are you team Murphy and DaIn or team Murphy and Max?
well, I'm gonna have to say Murphy and Max.
Okay.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that.
All right.
I know it's like I was speaking from the perspective of Jess. I don't think Jess, well, my instinct is to say like maybe Jess isn't team anyone, but I think Jess obviously wants Murphy to be loved and experience relationships, and Jess is such a lover and loves love, so she obviously wants her best friend to experience all of that. But she's very, very protective. But Brooke... Right. I'm Team Max.
Okay.
I would think Jess would be thrilled if Murphy considered DaIn.
Yeah,
I think if
so
just the
too.
responsibility lifted. She'd just be this like
You make a good point.
super
That is a good
upstanding
point.
citizen, like no making waves. She's all just tucked in and bundled and like ready to go for life.
That's a good
I
point.
don't know. Okay, like I like Max because he's a bad boy and he's like, like fun, adventurous. But DaIn is so soft and like cuddly and like he's there for you to like to cry on. I mean, Max is too, but Max is more like the bad boy.
Right.
Yeah.
So I like bad boys, so I'll say Max.
Yeah.
But then DaIn's so like
I'm
soft.
pro Max.
Yeah.
I just think they're really
different.
well suited for each other.
Yeah.
I think that both guys are good for Murphy in a different way. For Max, no one's really put Murphy in her place like Max does.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I feel like Murphy forgets that she's blind when she's with Max.
Yes.
Well,
totally.
not forgets that she's blind, but Max doesn't constantly remind her.
Yeah.
Whereas DaIn, he's a good guy, and she needs a good guy in her life, someone that she can, you know, count on 100%.
But let's be honest, like, what do they have in common? He has a blind daughter and she's blind. Like, that's kind of about it.
That's true.
I don't think they'd be
but
having that much fun together.
opposites attract. Opposites
Yeah,
attract. You
that's
never
true.
know.
But
you never
can
know.
I just say, my heart is bleeding for Chelsea, the bartender, and she deserves love too. And DaIn is interested,
Yes.
and I would really like that. Makes sense. I would like to see that.
And going on to that, I was bummed when they had their little date because, you know, I
Because you're just pining for Murph.
exactly. I really wanted to
I
see
love
that
it.
work. And when he was about to ask Murphy out, and then Max came in, and she was like, "Oh, this is my boyfriend," which that gave me a mind blown because I didn't know they were official like that. So now they're official, which is crazy.
Well, Jess keeps telling her, kind of. She's like, "No, you have a boyfriend.
Right,
This
right.
is what a boyfriend
Yeah.
looks like."
This is what dating is like. This
What do
is
you
happens.
what do you think about Murphy finally making it official between her and Max?
I think it's a big step. Because I know in that scene in the bar, I love that moment when she has trouble even still saying boyfriend. She's
Right.
like, this is my basically boyfriend, and Max is like, she's still getting used to it. But
Right.
I think it's great. I like seeing I like seeing Murphy struggle with that a little bit, and I think it's a good step for her.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then so we move on to Murphy realizing that she hasn't had her period in a while. So Jess, being the person of reason and logic, kind of puts the idea out like, are you pregnant? You guys have been hooking up for a while now. Murphy completely blocks it out. There's no way it's happening. And finally, towards the end of it, you know, she does open up a bit, and she says, you know, if I am pregnant, I don't want this kid to have my genes. And that was a crazy moment because she wasn't talking about her blindness. She just feels like as a person, she's not fit to pass whatever she has on to another kid. What did you guys think about her opening up like that?
Yeah, that was definitely kind of like tough, you know, just because like Murphy, I feel like in the past episodes, it was hard for her to open up. She kind of deflects all the questions that people ask her, deep questions. For in that moment, I felt like, wow, like she is thinking about stuff like deeper level stuff. So honestly, I like in what you said, she wasn't talking about the blindness. Like I thought she was, but she wasn't. And that was just like, wow, like that's kind of good that you were thinking about it. Because the whole episode, I thought she wasn't. I thought she was like, oh, I'll get it. No worries type of thing. So yeah, pretty crazy.
What do you guys
It
think?
just made me sad for her.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like you have more control over your character than just genetics. So it's like this thing that, always with the blind puns, but this thing she has this mirror image of all the time. But she really doesn't seem super motivated to address it.
Right.
She just kind of like jokes it off and is like, kind of like, yeah, I'm a garbage human. Like,
Right.
but it's okay, you know, like I treat people like this or whatever, and I'm selfish, but like she's kind of comfortable with it because she has this cynical humor about it all. And I think for her to say, it was just like a dark introspective moment when she said, I don't want to pass it on. I just want to be like, but you don't have to. Like,
Right.
you have a good one inside you.
Right,
you
right.
know?
What about you? What did you think about that moment?
That moment for me, gosh, I don't have children, but I think if I were to get pregnant, I don't know, do any of you guys have kids? I always think that there's never going to be a perfect moment. I think there's always going to be a time if you do find out that you're pregnant, you're like, oh, I don't think I'm ready for this. Like, this isn't the right time. And I don't think that you're ever going to be like, okay, initially. So I honestly found that moment a little bit relatable.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe not in such a dark way that Murphy is experiencing it, but I think if I were to get pregnant, I would have the thought of like, oh my gosh, is my life in in a place that I can bring a child into this world, and am I secure enough as a person and who I am emotionally and in other ways to be a good parent.
Right.
So yeah, I found it did make me sad too, but yeah, maybe I found that a little bit relatable in a way.
I think
Yeah.
all women would find that relatable.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a time in every woman's life where she's like, yeah, not trying to be pregnant right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
every woman could relate to that.
Not trying to have a kid
Yeah.
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's definitely, obviously, I will never know what it's like to be pregnant, but I really like what the writers did, where, like you guys said, it is real and it does go on for women who really, they're not looking to have a child right now, and then they get that, you know, I might be pregnant, I might not be pregnant, then all these emotions start running through them. You know, how are they going to be a good mom, and so on.
I think it would be great for her, for the record.
Yeah.
Like, I think being a mom would kind of like buff out all of her little like quirky character traits, you know? But I was actually thinking about just how challenging it would be to parent blind.
Yeah.
That would be like so hard.
Well, and see, that's the thing. So at first, I thought that she didn't want to be pregnant because of her blindness. She wouldn't know how to, you know, how to cope with having a kid because she's blind. But in reality, it wasn't even that. She just thought she would just be a terrible mom. But it wasn't even because of the blindness. So
Gosh, it would be interesting.
that was definitely intense. But I really do like that she opened up and we saw more of a human side of her.
And we all know she has that. Like, we all love Murphy.
Right.
We all know she is like a soft center. It's her hard shell that
Exactly.
she just doesn't want to
And
shed
it cracked a
We'd
little
rather
bit.
joke about it.
And I really liked the part where Jess calls out Murphy. That was amazing. And Jess pretty much just says, you know, I'm not like you. I can't do the stuff that you do. What did you think about that dynamic between those two characters?
Yeah, I think it's the first time in this series that you see Jess go there with Murphy. I just think it's a true testament to their friendship and how strong it is.
Right.
You know, they're so close, so close. They've known each other forever. And when you can be really, really honest with somebody, even, you know, sometimes you have to say those things to your friends for the benefit of them. Like, they need to hear it. It might be tough for them to hear it, but you're going to say it anyways because you love them. I just think it's a testament to how much Jess really loves Murphy.
Right, yeah, their relationship is definitely very strong, but I like how she keeps it real with her. What did you guys think?
Yeah, she has to. I feel like Murphy definitely needs that just to keep her in check, just to keep her in line. Like, you don't get to walk all over people. You don't get to be disrespectful. And I like how Jess reminds her, like, everyone has feelings. Don't, you know, take advantage of that, especially just because you have, like, a disability. I think that's really good, too.
I would have loved to have known Murphy before she went blind. I would have been really interested to see the family dynamic and what her personality was like with peers and stuff.
Right.
I mean, she's witty and funny, so we know she would have been a funny kid you don't like. It's not like an alternate superpower. Like, I lost my eyes and now I'm a funny person, but I wonder if she would have been as, like, cynical. Maybe she would have been more lighthearted.
That would be pretty cool to see. I would like that.
There's our spinoff.
Right?
Instead of young Sheldon, it's young Murphy.
All right. So before we move on, we have a special announcement that we want to tell you guys.
Yeah, we do. So we just want to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. For us to continue to grow, we need your help. So please make sure to subscribe on YouTube, give us a rating on iTunes, and leave us a comment. I love being a part of AfterBuzz TV because we get to interview guests like Brooke. So happy that you're here. And continue to watch our AfterBuzz after shows, and make sure you guys jump in that live chat and we'll give you a shout out.
Yes, and speaking of the live chat, we're going to try and get that up, and we want to get all your comments in, so we're going to get that up during the show. But moving on to Murphy and Jess, they go on a little adventure, I guess you can call it, to Felix's house. But it's kind of for the wrong reasons. You know, Murphy wants to fill you know, the face of a dead body so she can make sure that she felt Tyson. So what did you guys think about that whole scenario of how Murphy is just pretending to kind of be buddy-buddy with Felix so she can get something that she wants?
I was just like praying Felix wouldn't figure it out for his feelers.
Yeah.
But he did.
I think Felix was excited that, well, it was unexpected that Jess and Murphy came to his house because he was thinking like, oh, like, why are they here? But then he realized like, oh, I have friends. Like, I'm excited. Yay. Like, they're drinking wine in the basement, having a great time. But then Murphy's over here like, oh, wait, why isn't his uncle not dead? Like, we're still on a mission type of vibe. And Jess is like, no, I just feel like personally, like, that was a little hard to take in. I felt bad for Felix because now he really thought he had friends.
Yeah.
Like, that just was like, oh, poor baby. Like, I just want to give you a hug. Like, I totally felt Jess, like, in that situation. Because it's hard not having friends. I totally get it.
Yeah. I guess for me, it's interesting with Jess because even in this episode, she says no very strongly. She says, no, not doing that. But then I think there's some part of Jess that goes, oh God, but Murphy's going to do it anyways, and if I don't go, it's just going to be an even bigger mess, so I might as well go along and just make sure she doesn't get into even more trouble than if she were alone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think just from Jess's perspective, I think that's what's going on there. And also Jess worries about everything, so it's hard for her to have Murphy go alone, especially into situations she's not used to being in.
Yeah. And just like the dynamic Murphy and Felix have together, like it's not really a strong relationship.
Right.
Yeah, so that was good that she tagged along.
Yeah.
I've always said though that I feel like Murphy and Felix, it kind of reminds me, and I'm not saying it'll be romantic, but kind of like Alicia Silverstone and Paul Rudd's characters in Clueless. How like they're bickery, but like they secretly love each other. That's how I feel like Felix and Murphy are.
I can see that.
Yeah.
That's
feel
really.
like,
I
I feel
think
like
about that.
it's kind of like a brother sister, like a sibling rivalry, kind of like poke at each other a little bit, but they secretly love each other.
Yeah, like she cares about him.
Yeah,
For sure.
for sure. I think. I don't know. Do you think that? Am I making that up?
I think that's very, very sweet.
See, she knows everything that's happening. She knows everything that's happening.
I do think that they care about each other, maybe not in a romantic way, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't necessarily mean romantic.
Everybody loves Felix.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
He's so
Felix is the
sarcastic and
best.
his humor is like super dry. I love it.
Oh, and all his allergies we learned about.
And I'm glad we
Of course
got
he has all
to.
those allergies.
I'm glad we got to see more of Felix and more of his backstory. You know, where he comes from, what his parents are like. So that was also really cool.
Yeah, I love that. It's great.
Yeah, and so when Felix actually finds out the real reason that Murphy and Jess are there, that literally just broke my heart.
I know.
You know, here's this guy who thinks he has like these two amazing friends, and then this happens. What did you guys think about that?
I just felt so bad.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to give him a hug.
I know, me too.
I know, poor sweet.
And I
wanted
felt
to
bad.
just
Like he had
join
no
with
one
him.
else to drink wine with.
I know. I'll drink wine with you in the basement, Felix.
Yeah.
And it's funny, he plays off that,
Yeah.
you know, he doesn't really consider them like these like good friends. You know, his mom was telling them how he's always talking about them, and he was like, oh no, I don't listen to her. But I really do think that these two are like the closest people he has in his life.
I agree.
And I think he like lives the family business. I mean, it's not his family, but you know what I mean? Like I think he lives like working there so much. He probably just doesn't have much life outside of them. So
Right.
like when he talks to his family, like those are the people he's around.
I also felt like he didn't have a strong relationship with his mom because he kept saying, like, he kept calling her by her like name, Kathy.
yeah.
So that made me feel like they have no relationship at all.
Well, she's kind of mean.
Yeah. I thought she was a good hostess, but
And you know, it totally stayed at their
she
house.
was a nice hostess.
She had a great spread.
Yeah, she did.
Meats and cheeses and wine.
It
Like,
was
who doesn't
great.
want that?
I thought she was great at that.
Living the life.
Totally.
Living the life. So what Murphy did, obviously, it's one of those situations where you do something wrong, but I guess it's for a right reason because she's trying to figure out, you know, if that was her best friend's body that she felt. Do you think that Murphy was? Do you think that she was able, that she should have been allowed to do that, or was it just completely wrong what she did?
Oh, what? Touch?
Yeah, no, to actually go to Felix, use Felix.
Oh,
to,
yeah, for sure. Like, that was very wrong. She shouldn't have done that. She
Right.
should have been there as, like, a supportive friend, not have, like, an ulterior motive.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I have to say I wasn't super offended by her motives. I wish she just also was a real friend. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't alarmed at all that she wanted to feel another dead body. I mean, she's blind. She only has so many, like, sources of references for what she's trying to figure out. So I got that. I was just like, but could you also just care about Felix, really? And, like, actually be there for him, but then, you know, just give the uncle a few taps when he's not looking. Just,
Right.
like, check it off your list maybe still.
Or
I
maybe
don't
tell
know.
Felix, like, why she wants to come and visit. Like,
I'm sure that would be so offensive, though.
yeah, it would be, I guess. I guess you just have
I
to,
don't know.
like...
What do you think?
I'm just putting myself in the situation, and I think, gosh, if I thought one of my best friends had been murdered, me personally, I think I would go to every extreme measure possible
Yeah.
to figure it out. So I understand why that's wrong, but I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't.
I'm just
I
saying,
get
it's
it.
not the most offensive thing she's done. Like, her motives were in the right place.
Right.
She was trying.
Yeah.
I just wish she also
At the end of the day,
sincerely cared about Felix's feelings and stuff.
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Which Jess did.
Yeah.
I mean, at least Jess was there representing
Yeah,
her.
Jess was there to, like, pull through, for sure.
Yeah.
Right. We have one comment on our YouTube. This is from Lauren Rodriguez. She says, "Hi, Jess knows Murphy will get into trouble without her, not because she's blind, but she's stubborn." Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
agree with, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
definitely.
Amongst other things.
I feel like their relationship is, you know, Jess is Murphy's conscience, kind of.
Aw,
Is that-
that's
do-
kind
do
of
you-
cute.
is
I've
that-
never thought of it that way.
Because,
Aw.
you
You're
know,
her
That's
Jiminy
so,
Cricket.
I love that idea.
Murphy is, you know, she can be very irrational. She doesn't really think things through. Whereas Jess, you know, she's saying, like, you got to do this, you got to do that.
I think Jess definitely operates as a voice of reason
Right.
in a lot of ways. I think she also knows that Murphy most definitely has a mind of her own and might have to learn the hard way in certain situations.
Yeah.
But I do agree. I think Murphy needs Jess just as much as Jess needs Murphy.
That's true.
That is true.
I never thought about that.
Absolutely, yeah.
I never thought about that. That's cool. Well, and then moving on to one of the scariest scenes we've seen so far in the show.
It's scary.
It's
Jeez.
so scary.
But I really liked it. So basically, Murphy goes to the flower shop because she finds out that Tyson used to work there, and they sold drugs on the down low. So flash forward, she hears gunshots while she's in the bathroom. What I liked about the scene is we see what a blind person, you know, has to go through when they're dealing with a situation like that. She has no idea, like, what's going on around her. She has to, like, feel her senses. So, like, you see her trying to figure out what to do. She goes on top of the toilet. Her guide dog, Max, is amazing. And Pretzel, yes. And you know, she right? She's quiet. The dog's a she. Boy.
Yeah.
Yes, he is quiet. You know, what did you guys think about that? Just that whole dynamic of how she had to handle that situation.
Yeah, must have been super scary. But
She did exactly what she should.
Yeah.
do.
Right. Yeah.
I was thinking about the fact that this is probably going to sound like a stupid question, but you can't text to 911, or can you? I mean, you should be able to.
I know
For the record,
there
that should be
some
a thing.
places, some cities or states you can. It's something new. I'm not sure if you can do it here yet, but you would think you could do that.
Well, so my thought was, and a person with vision would type
Right.
someone, but she has to use her voice and she needs to be quiet. So
I just want to know like how she got that dog so quiet. Because like
Right.
if that was like a real event, like my dog would be like, I don't have a dog, but if I had a dog, my dog would be like barking
You're
and like
imagining dog.
acting crazy. So like
Yeah.
that, I give that dog props, like
Yeah.
Pretzel.
Yeah.
Because
he's also a guide dog, which they're incredible.
oh
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And highly trained and all that stuff.
that's so good.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
I mean, I
about
don't know if they're like trained to actually like hide in a bathroom if there's like a gunman in the
Right,
Yeah, but,
right.
but like still, it was,
you know.
But how
Pretzel
that
was
situation.
super quiet. I was
yeah.
like, wow.
Yeah.
Any
It
other
was
dog.
interesting too
He's a
because
super dog.
he always guides her, and in that scenario, she was actually guiding him.
Yeah.
Which
That's
is
true.
kind of interesting.
I think Murphy did exactly like what anybody would do. I would climb on top of the toilet and like
Right.
grab my dog. I think
Yeah.
anybody would have done that. I think that was
Original
my go-to.
escape through the window. If there was a window.
How would
Yes.
she even know if there was?
Right.
Yeah.
Feeling around.
That's true.
Right, and then the part where she goes out and she's asking like, "Hello, is anyone there?" And she calls DaIn, and she feels for anyone, and she feels a dead body, and that was just so crazy to me because here's this person, and she's in this scary situation. She's never been in a situation like this. What did you guys think about that? What she was actually able to feel someone's face who is dead.
It's just a really dark way to get her wish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
that's
she
what I
got
was
her
thinking,
wish,
too.
but I don't think this was the way she wanted to go about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy.
I was so shocked she didn't call 911 from the bathroom.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, why haven't you called them yet? Don't go out there yet. That was my thought.
yeah, but she eventually called DaIn though.
I was shocked. Yeah, I was shocked that she called DaIn instead of just a regular.
Well, she did call 911. They put her on hold.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. That's bizarre.
Super
Yeah.
convenient.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but but
Just
so
like put elevator music on.
right, and so also during the scene, we get like flashbacks of Tyson. Of like what he was doing. He was in the drug business, and then we flash forward to the end of the scene, which is someone is unzipping a dead body, and then we find out it's Tyson. And when I was watching, I was like, wait, that's not him, right? That cannot be him. Because this whole time I thought he was just hiding out somewhere.
I agree.
Were
yeah,
you
I was
guys
shocked.
were you
I
guys
was like,
as bummed as
wow.
me?
I was very bummed. I thought he was gonna like come like show up somehow like later in the season and like, oh Tyson, like we found you, but I didn't think it was gonna end like
I was
this.
devastated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really sad.
What did you think about that scene? Like when you were shooting that scene and you found out that moment that was Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel?
It makes me really, really sad.
Yeah.
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 Just love Tyson.
Because he's such a great actor too. I think
know.
that's why I like the character
He's
so much because
amazing.
he is
Yeah.
such a good actor.
Yeah,
He's so
It brings
good.
in such like emotion and like so convincing. I was like, oh my gosh, no.
Yeah.
And I remember when I saw the first episode and we were introduced to him, I was like, I really like this guy, and then they kill him. Like, are you kidding me?
I know. I hate that.
But then he's back in flashback episode, so
Yeah,
get
that's
to see
nice.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once I processed my devastation, my secondary emotion was I'm so pissed at Darnell
Yeah.
because I'm just like, you dirty. Like, I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
he's obviously behind removing the
He's
body and all of
behind
that.
something, and
Just being his family, it was just so.
right, and then
Like, I was just starting to like him a little bit. I used to be scared of Darnell, just so everyone knows. He made me scared.
Right.
I'm scared of him.
and it seems like
Then I started liking him when I saw like his softer side,
Right.
and now I'm like, you're bad. I'm scared of you again.
and it seems like Mia is calling all the shots.
Yeah.
So Nia, yeah. So that's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out, along with the detective who is hooking up with Darnell. That's going to be interesting also.
By the way, we nailed that because we were talking when she came into the picture either last week or whenever she showed up, about we all got the impression that they knew each other from like childhood or something.
Right.
And we were right. He's been in love with her since 14.
Intense, you guys. We just gonna have to wait and see. But now we're gonna go into our news and gossip. And Brooke, our special guest, she's gonna be our news. And there we have the little special
And that's
effects.
the news and
Yes. So we just wanna pick your brain about the show because it's such an amazing show. We all love it. It's a one-of-a-kind show. And congratulations, by the way, for coming back.
Yes.
Season 2.
Yeah, season 2.
I can't
so
wait.
excited.
That's such a big accomplishment. So
yeah, we're all so excited.
congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
One of the things I wanted to talk about was you and Murphy's, or your characters and Murphy's relationship. It's so close. You guys are like sisters.
Yeah.
How do you guys get to that level? Were you guys like that in real life?
Perry and I?
Yeah.
I feel like I've known Perry for 10 years. I don't know. You know how when you just meet somebody and you just immediately click? That's honestly, genuinely how I felt about Perry immediately. I actually met Perry at, I think we were doing the studio test, like one of the auditions, like through the audition process.
Okay.
And all the other actors were in a certain room, and this is before I knew Perry at all, and I had stepped out because I kind of sometimes like to be in my own space or kind of alone, and I had stepped out into the lobby, and the only other person sitting there was Perry. Before we even knew each other at all, I don't think we even said one word to each other. We were just like in this like space, just the two of us together. Yeah, she's amazing. We had such a good time with each other. It was really, really easy. It just flowed, and yeah, we're really, really close.
So it was like meant to be.
I think so, yeah. I think so.
That's
I
so
think
cool.
it is.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I just
she's
love
amazing.
Nice.
And
Oh,
your
go
like
ahead.
chemistry just shows to the show. Like it's just like how you share that story. Like we wouldn't have known that obviously, but just watching you guys on this, it's just you could just tell like watching. It's just like wow, like they really know each other.
Yeah, everything's so comfortable with Perry.
Yeah, it's just so like convincing. I love it.
Yeah.
Great acting.
Thanks.
Yes.
It's easy when opposite her, she, gives you so much, and I just react off of all the amazing stuff that she's given me. So, yeah, it's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so another great actor on the show is the guide dog.
Oh my gosh.
So I was looking this up. He's not really a guide dog, right?
No, Levi, who is a girl in real life playing
yes.
a boy. Also,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
yes.
where.
You're
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Nailed
no,
it.
She's an actor, and she's incredible.
She is an amazing actor.
She emotes. She
Wow.
brings so much to every scene. I mean, I've learned so much from her.
What was it like
that's
working with a dog?
It was
Is
great.
How old is she?
Oh, I actually don't know. I should know that. I want to say 6, but I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
Just wondering, at what age do you get your puppy into acting?
I think she started quite young, training, but she's awesome. I mean, I'm such an animal lover, and especially a dog lover. So any time in any situation where there's a dog, I just feel better. So I was very happy that there was
I
always.
feel like that would be so much fun to work with a dog every day.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They bring good energy to the set, the room, whatever,
Right.
She's very professional.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
I love it. She's not a diva.
That's awesome.
No, not at all.
You give her tummy rubs during
Oh,
like the
yes.
tapes.
So
Yes.
many pets and rubs and
I love it. Oh my
all the
God.
attention. She likes the attention a lot.
I can imagine.
She's great. We all love her so much.
And so it's a touchy subject. There are some people who are in the blind community. They say that, the main character should be portrayed as a blind person. But a lot of people don't know about the show is there are actually a lot of blind people that work on the show.
Yeah.
So how do
Really?
you overcome, all of those things that they're saying?
Meaning because Perry herself in real life actually isn't blind?
Right, that she's not blind.
I think how I like to answer this question, actually, Rich Sommer, who plays DaIn, I think says it really, really great. So I'm just going to copy what he says because I think it's a really good way to put it. When you're casting a show, he said, and it's true, the casting directors have 50 different boxes that they need to tick to create a person. And mind you, Murphy's not defined by her blindness.
Right.
So, and Perry takes 49 of those 50 boxes brilliantly, perfectly. And the 50th one is a pretty major box that she doesn't tick in real life. But the fact that she encapsulates Murphy in every other way, I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So that's my answer to that.
And she does an incredible job.
She's amazing.
Playing Murphy.
She really does.
Incredible.
And the blind community, we had members of our writers' room who are blind. Lori Burnson, who's like one of our main blind consultants, she was with us at all times, and if she couldn't be with us, she was at our disposal at all times. And I know Perry, she really did her homework and it gets involved in the community as much as possible.
Right.
And it's an incredible community. I feel really honored to somewhat be a part of the community. I've gone to conventions with her, and we've obviously spent a lot of time with Lori, who's, an incredible woman. We just love her so much. And she was one of the big inspirations for this show. And Callie, who plays Chloe, she's blind.
She is.
She's incredible.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
so cool.
she's
That's what I, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I was like, because I couldn't figure, because last week's episode, I thought she was blind, but then I was like, oh, wait, is she really blind?
is.
So I wasn't sure, but that's good to know. She's
Yeah.
amazing. She is one of my favorite characters.
She's
I know,
on
I
that
love
show.
her.
She's so funny.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore that character and her in real life. She's just great. I know that the producers and creators of the show took it really seriously to surround the show on and off screen with members of the blind community. We all took that very, very seriously. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then what's something that you've taken from this show? Like, I know you guys you're done filming now. After, filming all these episodes, what's something that you've learned about the blind community?
About the blind community.
Yeah.
How open and caring and awesome they are, and that they can do anything really, and they're incredible people. And there's also, Perry and I went to a convention once when we were in Toronto shooting, and it focused on all the technology that they've developed for someone who's visually impaired. Amazing. I've just really taken away so much from that community. They're just wonderful and very, very open and kind to us, and every person I've met is just wonderful. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, we definitely love the show. Did you guys need to add anything or?
Well, I think we all had some questions for you.
Yeah, I just want to know, how is it like working with Ben Stiller? Like, is he on set, or how does that all work out?
I think he's awesome. I've
Yeah.
personally only met him once, but when I
Okay.
did, he was the loveliest man and very open and kind, and yeah, he's great.
Oh, awesome. That's
Yeah.
so much fun to work with him.
Yeah. I haven't spent a lot of time with him because he's so busy
Right.
doing a lot of other things and making brilliant shows and directing amazing things, but yeah, the small interactions that I have had with him, he's wonderful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very
Good
good.
to know.
Are we running out of time?
We actually are. Let's go to our news and predictions.
Wait, I have questions.
Go for it. Go for it.
When you go home,
Yes.
Pete's Drive-In Fries
I
or
can't
Abby's
even
Pizza?
believe. Oh my God! I have to choose between the two.
You have to choose.
I'm gonna go. Oh, I don't know. That's such a hard question.
For the fans, Brooke
Of
is
Roseburg.
from
The fans of Roseburg.
Oregon.
I might have some haters after I answer this question. Oh God, Pete's or Abby's? Pete's or Abby's? My instinct says Abby's.
My husband is also from Roseburg, Oregon, just so everyone knows. So I spent a lot of time in her hometown, and I found it really fun to find out that she was from Roseburg.
I can't believe it. I'm gonna
Would
go
you
with
rather float the Umpqua River on a hot summer day or have Umpqua ice cream?
Oh dear. On a hot summer day, ooh. Can I float the river while I'm eating ice cream? I would choose that.
I think so.
I like that.
because you're just hanging out in your inner
You
tube.
can also have Pete's fries and Abby's pizza.
Yeah, because when you're floating the river, you always like tie a cooler to one of your
Of course.
rafts, and it floats along with you with all your stuff, so you can have all those things in it.
All of it.
Oh yeah, floating the river.
When we go to Roseburg, getting Abby's pizza is like the first thing on my husband's to-do list. It's like we cannot leave the city of Roseburg without getting Abby's pizza.
Do you like it? Because like I grew up on it, and so I love it too. I'm like Abby's is. I love Abby's, and I get it every time I'm in town too, for the most part. But do you love it, or is it just because we grew up with it?
Ryan asks me that every time I have it. I'm like, yeah, babe, it's good. But like, I think it's one of those things where when you grow up with something, you just love it even more.
Of course, like all the nostalgia built
You know
around
what else
it.
he's obsessed with is, and I can't even say it without laughing, is Between the Buns. Between the Buns.
Oh my God, my
There's
best
a
friend
sandwich
Jeanette.
spot called Between the Buns in Roseburg.
That's awesome.
I can't even say it without
So
laughing.
good. My best friend Jeanette, we talk about Between the Buns, like, and her boyfriend Zach, who's also from Roseburg. There's a whole LA Roseburg crew. We talk about Between the Buns a lot. Their Deb salad at Between the Buns, you can't go wrong.
All right, you have it there. You heard it there first.
There you go.
Between the Buns.
There you go.
Roseburg. I love Roseburg so much.
That's so great. I read when I was, online stalking you to learn about you, that you did a horror film and then they showed it in Roseburg and you were like the special guest.
Oh, yes, they did.
That's so cute.
Yeah,
I love
they
it.
did. My beautiful, wonderful, amazing sister set that up, and a lot of people
Nice.
came, and that was really, really
That's
special.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
they played
That's
it.
so sweet.
They played it at my little hometown movie theater, and it was a very, very, very special night.
That's
I
awesome.
love that.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's a good place to be from.
yeah, good people.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, so real quick, we're gonna do this cool new segment called. Do you want to introduce it?
Well, we are going to start doing your own personal in the dark moments. So, at any point in each episode that you had like a little personal moment. For me, gosh, I feel like there was a lot in this episode actually. I have to say it really touched me when Felix's mom knew who they were and called them his friends, even
Right.
though that turned out to be kind of upsetting for him. But I was like, oh, see, he really loves them. I guess that's what
Right.
I love that moment.
That was a cool moment. If you guys who are listening or watching have any special moments, let us know in the comment section below. Let's move on to our predictions of the show. What do you think?
Your AfterBuzz TV
My
predictions.
Okay, so the person that shot Evan, the flower shop owner, I think it was Wesley. Yeah,
Wesley.
Wesley. Yeah, I think that was him for sure. And then that whole like Jules and Darnell cop love. Yeah, that's gonna go out. That's gonna like hit the fan somehow. You're looking at me like, oh yeah, she knows it. She knows it.
I am not giving anything away with my looks. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think I predict that Max and Murphy are going to be in legal trouble.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. I just
Okay.
see like
Oh, like with the
maybe
food truck?
Murphy having to testify and maybe Max getting arrested. I mean, I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I think just more secrets are going to be revealed, and it's just going to be more drama, more intensity. I can't wait for
I'm
it.
excited.
Can you? I know you can't tell us what's going to happen, obviously, but can you give us a little teaser about what's to expect throughout the rest of the season?
Oh my goodness. Like I said, I feel we're just getting started.
Okay.
We have a long ways to go.
Nice, nice.
It's
Which
really
is
exciting.
cool for us to hear because I feel like it's just getting more and more intense. So to hear we're just getting started is like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
Awesome.
Buckle up.
Well, that's right, you guys. Buckle up. Cannot wait for what's to come for the rest of these episodes. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. I'm your host, Benny Adams. You can find me on all social media at Benny J. Adams.
Hey guys, you can find me on Instagram at Missy Vernier.
Hey everyone, I'm Bethany Jean. You can find me on IG at Bethany Jean Official. That's Bethany with an IE. And I'm on all platforms as Bethany Jean.
And Brooke?
Yeah, hi, I'm Brooke Marham, and I have Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at Brooke A. Markham. Pretty sure that's what it is.
Thanks for joining us, Brooke. We really appreciate
Glad you
it.
came.
Thank you
And
for
thank
having
you
me.
guys for
Yay,
tuning in for another after show. We will see you all guys later.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.